Hello and welcome, fellow Wasteland survivors. I'm Dean. Thanks for stopping in, hanging out with me for part 7 on our series on how to build circular or round structures in our settlement. Now, today's demonstration will be putting in ceilings and a floor. Now, I know we've already done a floor in a previous episode, so we're going to take a little closer look at that. But we're also going to add in a ceiling. We're also going to add in a real ceiling so that we can get the settlement happiness bonus effect. You know, we got to have a ceiling over a bed if you choose to put a bed in here. Normally what you could do is put a floor in up there and then create a second story. But since this is going to be the top, we're going to definitely need a ceiling in. So we've got a lot to check out today. Let's get started. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a piece into our door right here. Now, we're going to use a combination of floors and ceilings to do this. And we actually can snap in both here. So what we'll do is we'll use, you know what, I'll tell you what. We're also going to need one piece on our floor. We can't have our floor dropping down like this, and we don't want to use two of these quarter floors to go in there. So we'll mark one of our walls and make sure that it will snap back in, and then we'll move it. Now what we can do is go ahead and take one of our floors and place it in there. It's only hitting one object. That's why it went in easily. Also remember, this door and the floor here was one carpet higher than the floor we're standing on right here. This one was one barn floor higher than the floor we're standing on, and that's why it was able to go in there. Now we can go ahead and bring our wall over, and it's really all about build order, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, now that we've got that in, let's go ahead and put our floor and ceiling in right here. To do this, we're just going to go ahead and use a shack stairwell, and then we're going to use a upper shack floor. And let's see if we can get the floors to run. There they go. And there's our first piece in. Now let's go ahead and move this out of the way. What we're going to need to do now is actually use some concrete. But if we tried to use it right here, the first piece of concrete is going to hit the ceiling part of the upper shack floor. So we need to actually add one extra marker on to get us away from that. Now let's go grab our concrete we're going to need, and we'll use a full concrete wall. And we're going to need a second one on top. Now we can bring our second marker up and snap it to the floor of the second concrete wall. That's why we needed two. The floors will only snap to the bottom of those. A ceiling or a roof actually snaps to the top. Okay, now that we've got that in, we're going to use some barn half of floors. Or warehouse, it's up to you, whichever one you want to use. And now we'll go ahead and put that in. Okay, now that we've got one in, and this no longer has a ceiling connected to it like the upper shack floor does, now we can just go ahead and use one marker. And then we'll move it around like this. Snap the next one on and our next floor in. And all we've got to do is just repeat this pattern all the way around. Because of the way that we have laid those walls in, by stair-stepping them up and down using a carpet and a barn floor, we'll be able to snap every one of these half walls in very easy. So while I continue doing that, we're going to go to fast forward, and I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment. Alright, now that we're towards the end, I did have to put another second marker in to get us away from the wall. Once again, our concrete wall would be hitting the ceiling right there, and we wouldn't be able to snap it in. So now that we've got both our walls in, we'll just lift our marker up, and our final piece will go right in there as soon as we go find it. There it is. There we go. Now we can go ahead and pull all of these out, and we're done with the very first part of our ceiling. Let's go ahead and take a ladder out. Let's go take a look at it. There's a couple of reasons why I do it this way. And we'll be able to see one or two of them from up here. Let's throw that up real quick. Okay, now if we would have went with just a square up here, which we could have, corners would be sticking out. And since the ceilings of these walls are on a downward angle, we would really see that really bad. So that's why we just opted to go with these around the edge. Also, if you take a look at the thickness of the floor, the thickness of the wall, it equals one floor width. And that's why we were able to snap these half of floors in because of that. If we were to try to snap more in on the inside of that, too many pieces would be trying to penetrate each other, and we just wouldn't get another set in. But because of doing it like this, when we build our ceiling in, it will go in so far, and then it will go off in another direction, and then the next one will come in, and our corners will be hidden by all of these half of floors that go around here. Alright, since we're up here, we are going to need to mark this. So let's put some markers out. And we're only going to need markers on the parts, like this part here and that wall over there, where we won't need to put markers on. We won't need to put one over there and one where the door is, because those will automatically match up. So we'll need one there. We'll skip that wall. We'll put one there. There. We'll skip this one. We'll go to here. If you guys remember, it's like a plus or a cross here. So we won't need to put one there. We'll put one there, there, and one right there. And it might not go because our ladder is a little too close or a little too something. Let's see if that helped. It did help. Okay. So now we've got our markers all in. Now what we can do is go ahead and take these pieces back out. We will need to put them back in later. Now make sure you don't take out the one that you don't have a marker for. If you do, you could go down and remark it from the floor again, but it's just a lot of extra work. So make sure that you only take the ones out that have the markers on it. And we can leave that one in. And of course we can leave our ceiling in. Our ceiling in our first floor. Excuse me. Okay, now that we've got that much done, let's get our ceiling up. And we will go with a regular floor. We'll snap it there and there. Now remember, we can do this off of any point. We could do it off of right there. We could do it, well, we've done it off of there. We can do it off of here. Now if this floor wasn't in and we had a half a floor in there, we could actually snap it off of that. But since we've got a full floor in and it's sticking out a half a floor's width, we wouldn't be able to use that. Now what we need to do is take that one away. Don't forget, we got to click on it so it drops down. Remember, these walls are on a carpet while every other wall is on a barn floor. So what we've really got going here, ladies and gentlemen, is this structure, this round structure, is the thickness of one carpet and more above the floor. That's how we're going to be able to snap the floor in, is because it is not the same height as a regular floor just sitting out here on this floor we're standing on. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to do is get us a marker. I think we need to, you know what, actually we do, but not right now. Alright, let's go ahead and snap our floors, or let's see, actually we're doing the ceiling. So we do need to move this over. For a minute there, I thought we were getting ready to start on the floor. So I got a little sidetracked. Alright, now this is what we'll do. Instead of going to a shack stairwell, we're going to go to a vanilla floor. Wall, excuse me. We'll put up a vanilla wall. Then we'll go back to the floors and we'll snap another upper shack floor in. Now the distance you should have is exactly one ceiling from side to side. Let's spin that. And let's go to our ceilings. We're going to use the flat ones. And there we go. There's our first ceiling in. Our next ceiling, the next one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take this out. We don't need it no more. We'll put our next ceiling in. And, oh, there it was. Oh, no, that's not where it was. Let's see if we can... There. Dang it. It keeps jumping. There we go. Now we got it. Try to run our ceiling all in the same direction. And it doesn't look like we got that one in the right direction. Now we'll put on the next one here. Okay, it doesn't want to go yet, so we will spin it. And there we go. And there we go. Alright, perfect. Now, let's jump up on our ladder. Let's go see what this looks like. Basically, what we've done is filled it all up into a square. Or, using the floors as a square. So we've got these little gaps. And that's why we've put these half floors around to cover up those gaps. So, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's go to the barn floors. There's our half a floor, and let's just set them all in here. Once we get these in, we'll be able to see how this looks. And a couple of more. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and pick up our markers. And, there's a lot of ways to do this, once again, ladies and gentlemen. I just feel that this is the easiest way. And that's why I showed you guys this. In our next video, we're going to actually have a very, very advanced demonstration on how to add actually in more of these roofs in a circle, even though 3 of them will be penetrating one another through the center. In other words, like if this is one here, this one would be more than halfway through it. This one over here would be more than halfway through it. And these 2 side ones would actually overlap each other inside of this one here. Now, I know you've heard me say many a times it's impossible to get them into 3 objects, but it's not. It's extremely complicated how to do it. And it's easier to say it's impossible than it is to say it's extremely complicated, because it is extremely complicated to do this. Okay, now what we're going to need to do here is actually put our floor off set. So we are going to... Oh, we're not in the right floors. Let's use... we could use the barn floors if we wanted to, but I want to use these guys. And we'll just see if we can't get them all in here in the right direction. And you know what? I didn't go in the right direction, I don't think. Yeah, they were supposed to go up one. Actually, yes, they were supposed to go one more that way. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. And that one went in the wrong... Or is it the wrong way? Did I just snap the other ones in the wrong way? Okay, let's try it like this now. Okay, now, the reason this floor is having a little bit of a hard time going in here is let's take a look at this. First of all, some of our snap point on this floor is covered over. So it doesn't have a really good snap point. By adding in a second floor that has a really good snap point, it's highly likely that we're going to get the pieces in that we need to get in. Also, another thing that this will show us is how we are now penetrating 3 objects at one time, which will be what the advanced demonstration on doing the ceiling will be about. Since we've done it a certain way here, which, we have it one carpet above, then we have it the carpet thickness, and then we have it the barn floor thickness, because of the stair step, we're actually able to get 3 objects to penetrate one another. So that is the reason why that is working. And once again, in our next demonstration, or our next video, I'll show that in a little bit more advanced setting, so that way everybody can get a better idea of how that works. And there you go. There's our floors. Now we need to go, let's see, we need to go this way. And then we will need this one over here. What we're going to do is we're going to offset our floor a little bit. Actually, we needed to go one more. Let's move this one. And I guess what we could have done is just done this. Okay. Perfect. Alright, now since this floor is connected to this wall or doorway, that is one carpet off the floor, when we want to lay another floor in, it'll go right in there, because it is slightly higher than the floor we're standing on right now. And that's how we're going to be able to double overlay a floor on top of one another right here. Okay, let's go ahead and take that out now. Now we can add a floor in right there. Let's put a floor there for a better snap point. Perfect. Okay, now what we need to do is okay, let's see. We need our marker back. We need our marker back. Now we're going to move this floor over, and the 2 middle ones will be lined up from that direction. Okay. Now this floor will make it over there. And right there. Okay, now the only thing that we've got left to do is fill these little corners. We're going to have 4 of these. Excuse me. And a quarter floor will drop right in there to fill it up. By offsetting the floor the way that I have, it allows the floor to go in without corners sticking out past our floor. So we can kind of see that one a little bit. As you can see, it goes over there up against the wall, but it's not sticking out. This one goes up to the corner over there, but it's not sticking out. And therefore, we can go ahead and fill up our floor completely. Now, we could also do the same trick down here that we did up above by placing the half floors in. And you could do this for an extra added effect, like a walkway around or something like that. And basically what we would do is just recreate these half a barn walls inside all the way around. And those would cover up the floor as well. So, once again, once you, ladies and gentlemen, start doing this a lot, you're going to discover a lot of ways that you can get things to work for you. And once you do that, the ideas are going to just start flowing. So, just like that, ladies and gentlemen, or as Forrest Gump would say, we had ceilings and floors added into our structure. So let's go ahead and take these all out. Be careful doing this. There is a possibility that you could target the wrong piece and take it out. So be very careful. when you're doing this. And I've lost track of where we're at. Where are we at? Here we are. It's better to be for sure. I mean, it's always easier to grab a piece and move it and go, okay, yeah, that's the piece I need to, than it is to pop it out and then go, oh shit, I didn't want to pop that one out. Alright, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a complete 360-degree structure with seamless floors that are integrated into one another and ceilings as well. And as you can see, nothing's sticking out or sticking past. It goes right up to the edge, but nothing pops out. See, if we were to do this on top, what we've done down here with the floors, they would be sticking out up there because of the angle of the roof coming down. And let's go take a look at our floor. Yeah, that looks super good. And we've got a ceiling. The only places that don't have a ceiling is right through here, right through here, right through here, and actually we got a ceiling right there. So just even that little bit there and a little bit there, and then one more time right here. So even if you were to put beds in here, the ceiling factor would come into play, and you would get... How did we get that ceiling not in the right way? Okay, Bones, OCD's kicking in. I know you want to fix it, but we're not going to. Because to fix it, we'd actually have to go pull some of these half of barn floors out to spin that, then we could put them back in. No big deal, just a little extra time consuming. Yep, that looks really super good. Extremely happy with the way this is looking. It almost makes me wish that we were going to actually be using it for something other than a demonstration. But, you know, I think this is what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know I said in the last video that we were going to actually be building a structure for this, so it didn't look like it was just floating in the air. Well, I didn't have a lot of time for that on this video. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to stream this on our Settlement Sunday build coming up this Sunday. Well, from the time this video is released. Some of you may see this after it's already out. But we're going to stream it on our Settlement Sunday build. A couple of different ways to add bases in underneath of here. A structure to make it look like it's holding it up. And we're probably going to go higher in the air with it too. So it's not going to be just right here. Also, in the next video, we're going to take and we're going to be building 2 more circles. And they're going to be the smallest ones that you can build in Fallout 4. The smallest one will be a 6-sided octagon. So, to get prepared for how to put a floor in and a ceiling into that build, our next video will be showing the advanced demonstration on how to place ceilings or multiple objects into one another, even though you're doing more than 2. We could do 3, we could do 4, we could even do up to 6 objects inside of one another. So we're going to take a quick look at how to do that with the ceilings in the next video. Also, we'll be starting to build the second smallest circle that you can build, or curved structure. And we're going to see how to do it the easiest way possible. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for stopping in, hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate you all very much. I look forward to seeing you on the next video and in tonight's stream. So, until then, everybody, please stay safe and peace.